Do you feel well, Brandy?
I'm always well.
Well, it's time to go.
Let's see
really
who else
well.
is well.
On Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy, the back page with David Riccio. When automation is key to your business's success, trust Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, boys.
The entirety of the press were at the at Penrith Stadium yesterday, Penrith Park, for the fan day. I didn't see you there, but gee, they're all there.
No, I was consumed with another project of which we won't go into today, boys, but you will see it forthcoming in the next week or two. But unfortunately, I couldn't get to
I missed you.
It looked fantastic as far as the fans and the colour and the media opportunities that the Panthers provided yesterday. But yes, couldn't get there, Brandy, unfortunately.
Wow,
MC
another
was
project.
MC.
Another project that will be revealed in the next week or two has probably got a talkback topic in that. What would the project be that David Riccio is working on? 0457 736 736. Is it a movie? Is it a doco? Is it a Paul Bongiorno? I mean, who knows? Who knows what Dave's working on? His special project. It could be anything.
Yep.
A calendar. A calendar. Is Dave Riccio putting together a calendar? Was he at a photo shoot yesterday? And, who would know, Dave?
Yep.
It could be anything.
Well, I'm feeling you, Brandy. I'm feeling you.
That's good. Madge unveiled as the Broncos coach, and he looked strange in a maroon top. He did.
He did, didn't he? Madge, as he took care of that press conference yesterday up in Brisbane, look, he was hit with all the big questions as far as how he was going to smooth the waters with the old boys to what he wants to achieve. Interestingly, guys, he declared that he's in a hurry. He's in an absolute hurry to go and win a comp with the Broncos. A little bit different response from a head coach. They usually don't want to place that pressure on themselves, but Madge went the other way. He said, I want to run towards the expectation. It makes me a better coach. But certainly, it was a I've got to say, guys, it's been a whirlwind 72 hours as far as that timeline is concerned, from Madge presenting to the New South Wales Rugby League board on Friday morning about his vision for 25 to then being unveiled as the Broncos coach. I just can't help but feel this was certainly done, or at least close to being done, as a deal a lot earlier than what people think. Certainly. I just can't recall, guys, in the space of 3 days, a club appointing a new head coach, in the wake of sacking their previous coach. It's moved quickly. It's moved quickly. But look, it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. The key too, guys, is of which hasn't really gone there yet as far as a discussion point. That is just a couple of the off-contract guys that Madge is going to have to make some decisions on pretty soon. November 1 is looming. And it is the likes of the halfback, Adam Reynolds, going into what is his final contracted season at the Broncos. If not retaining Adam Reynolds again, do they go to market?
No rush.
And start looking for a replacement?
Yeah.
There's also to Selwyn.
I wouldn't be rushing on Adam Reynolds. Let's see how things start. See how the season starts. I would. His body failed him this year. They'd be hoping it doesn't next year, but I'd just hold fire on Adam Reynolds and see how he starts the season. First couple of months.
Yeah. There's a couple of others too, Brandy. Selwyn Cobbo. All indications are that he's likely to go to market on November 1. Interesting if that was the case under Kevy Walters, that was basically the way that Selwyn and his management were speaking while Kevy was there. Does that now change once Madge sits down with Selwyn? Do they have enough salary cap space for Selwyn? So too Katoni Staggs, another player off contract at the end of next season. Big decision for again, Madge. And another one too, Kobe Hetherington, guys. Kobe Hetherington's currently in discussions with the West Tigers. So watch this space with Kobe Hetherington and the West Tigers.
Mm. He might have a different idea, Madge, on Kobe Hetherington. He might want to keep him.
That's right.
So we'll see what happens with all those players. There has been some new signings. Jason Riles has recruited Jack Williams, and Daniel Saifidi finally. That deal is done with the Dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely, Brandy. Look, just firstly, Jason Riles. He has secured Jack Williams. He's obviously the middle forward for the Cronulla Sharks. Has been there for a number of seasons now. Probably just was always behind the pecking order as far as the starting forward is concerned at Cronulla. Certainly brought a lot of punch and leg speed to that pack. He's a good signing for Parramatta.
Agreed.
It's a three-year deal. My understanding is Cronulla only had a 1-year deal on the table for Jack, and hence Jack taking up the opportunity to secure a longer-term future at the Eels. But it's probably the first. Well, it is. It's the first signing for Jason Riles, but it's also the first indication of where Jason wants to take that pack. Obviously, with Regan Campbell-Gillard moving on as well. So a key signing. Daniel Saifidi, as you mentioned, Brandy, finally done. 3 years at the Dolphins. That will alleviate some salary cap pressure at the Knights. I still feel as though we'll have a little bit more movement at Newcastle outside of Saifidi as they attempt to restructure their salary cap.
Yes, seem a bit top-heavy on halves at the moment, the Knights, so that remains an issue there. People are coming in with suggestions on what the project is, David. We'll get your reaction. Either you can say no comment. It's a Go Well protein shake that you're developing. Azza from DY, you've got a little protein shake action happening, little sort of opposition to the man shake. The project is a hair replacement from turkey. I don't think you get the turkey in back in the day. I don't know if that could be done. David Riccio is working on a new radio ad for Shell Fuel. All he has to come up with is Shell Go Well. That's from Clean Snap 133. So people are buying into that. On quick deals, this is a fair point. Gold Coast was done in 3 hours, but they were sort of dealing with Hasler behind the scenes. We kept it very quiet. And the Tony Popovich deal. Well, that's probably right. Socceroos might have beat the Broncos, Brandy. The appointment from when Graham Arnold was gone to Tony Popovich stepping in.
What was the time?
On those two?
Yeah, what was the difference
72
in time?
hours, would it be? Probably was.
Yeah. I think so, probably. Not much longer than that. Broncos were quick.
I think there's an element to this chapter as far as Michael Maguire's movement is concerned, is that what I mentioned, and that is that only last Friday morning he's standing in front of the board presenting his vision for 2025. And you know, those two examples that were given, I don't know if those two situations were of that case in Hasler and Popovich, where, you know, it was all steam ahead for whatever job they were doing at the time and going forward. So it moved quickly, guys. There's no denying it.
Yeah. And that's right. Michael Maguire would need days to prepare, wouldn't he, too, Brady? I mean, you would have been across, maybe not recently with Penrith because you're pretty stable on the coaching front. But if someone comes, they put a bit of preparation into a presentation. It's not something you whip together in half an hour.
No. You're not called and then said, well, you need to present, you need to get here within, today. You need to fly up here today. There's a bit of time.
Yep. Brandy, there's an interesting development, and certainly from the Panthers players yesterday concerned, were certainly vocal and supportive of it, and that is Ivan Cleary as a potential candidate to move into this New South Wales origin space, almost as a stopgap solution as the Blues maybe look at a Craig Bellamy for 2026. But for 2025, it's certainly been suggested to me that for the first time, there may be some consideration to appointing a NRL club coach to also take over the Blues coaching role. He's got some pretty good assistant coaches there at the Panthers, Ivan Cleary and Ben Gardner, and also Peter Wallace. And Liam Martin was quite vocal about the fact that he just thinks Ivan would do the job sensationally. I just wonder, from your perspective, and certainly with your board director's hat on, and whether that would be something you'd consider, or whether it's a bridge too far.
I'm sure. Look, if Ivan, even if the New South Wales League were keen on maybe getting, breaking the model that they've got at the moment, and that's not having a club coach. If they were keen to change that, I'm sure. And if Ivan came to the board and said, "Look, this offer is on the table," I'm sure everyone would sit down and discuss it. David, it's too early for me to say yay or nay to either one, but certainly worth a discussion. That's for sure. I'm sure he'd do a good. I'm very confident that he'd do a great job with the Blues.
Interesting. That's goes.
This train of thought that maybe for the first time, and I'm only saying it's a consideration just due to the fact that all options are open. That for the first time they may look down an NRL club coaching possibility, and it's largely due to the fact, remembering that this has been a scaled back role from the full-time salary employment of Brad Fittler at the New South Wales Rugby League to a part-time salary under Michael Maguire, which we saw that with that significant change last year. And that's probably the school of thought that, due to the fact that it is a scaled back role, that potentially it is a case of a coach being able to wear two hats for the first time in a while.
Big job.
Now, who will you be? Yeah, it's a massive job. I think it is too big for a NRL coach, but maybe a one-off year, maybe not. But now, who are you dressed by tonight, David, at the Dally M's? Kelly Country?
I'm dressed by Melissa. Yeah, no, Melissa Riccio. That's who I'm dressed by.
Right.
My lovely wife.
So just scrape together whatever you can out of the cupboard.
Things.
Stuff the fruit off.
Are you a cummerbund man? Is that how you say cummerbund? Is it the band that goes across the middle? Is it cummerband or cummerbund? What is it that goes?
I think they're finished, aren't they? They were definitely sort of.
David mightn't be. David mightn't be finished.
Vossy,
he's old school.
Vossy,
cummerbund.
Yeah. Yeah, I might even throw the vest on as well. If I walk in with a cummerbund and vest, just tap me on the shoulder, Vossy, and just turn me back around, will you?
Yeah. Well, that's the same
and
with
me.
Are
you a tie or a bow tie? Bow tie.
No, I'm a tie guy. Yeah, no, I'm a tie. Yeah. I have been thinking of transitioning to a bow tie.
That's a quote.
Well, that's pretty radical. That is really it's out there stuff.
I'm glad you finished the sentence. That's our headline. What you're working on, the special project yesterday that you're working on, that'll be reviewed in a couple of weeks, and then you say I've been considering transitioning. So it's a very interesting area that your segment goes to, David. And I'm just saying too, just on that. If I ever turn up, Brandy and David, at an event with like a top knot or a ponytail or something, mate, just grab a pillow, stick it over my head, and end it. Just seriously.
Yeah.
I'll just you could just
not a fan.
Finish it.
Yeah,
not
for you.
Knot.
It's not your
top
go.
knots are for samurais.
It's not your go.
Not my go at all. So, Dally and predictions, David.
Yes.
Player of the year, coach, rookie of the year. Want to lock in those three?
Well, guys, what's intriguing is that all the debate has been around that Jerome Hughes is just a fait accompli. He's over the line. He's just been in sensational form, and it's hard to argue. But the point of it is, it's going to be one hell of a charge to take out the Major Gong, because he was a long way back when voting went behind closed doors, and I mean a long way back. And so, look, he will have to storm home. Look, clearly, Cameron Munster being sidelined with injury, perhaps missing some games. Jerome Hughes will be able to grab some points. Going to be fascinating to see how it finishes. But look, I wouldn't mind having a little wager on Isaiah Yeo featuring in the finish as well.
There we go. All right, Yeo, what about coach? Who have you got coach then, given that it was awarded at the end of round 27? Who's coach of the year?
Yeah. Look, I will go Cameron Ciraldo, guys. I feel as though making the finals for the first time in 8 years with the Bulldogs, take nothing away from the minor premiership of Craig Bellamy. But Cameron Ciraldo was part of that fairy tale story of the dog.
You can build a case, can't you, for Bellamy and Cleary. Bellamy.
And Cleary as well, absolutely.
Played without Cameron Munster for most of the year. Ivan Cleary did it without Nathan for most of the year, for more than half of the year. So both those play. Now this one, Miles says the Noonist has a secret expose about Adam G being gagged and held in a cupboard somewhere.
Yeah,
because he didn't get a gig this week. No gig.
No comment. No comment.
No. Okay. Now, David, too. Now, here is a great one. Now, if you floated out Ivan Cleary for coach, what happens game 1 next year? Mitch Moses or Nathan Cleary halfback? Ooh, answer that question, Dave Riccio.
Yes.
Because Mitchell Moses is the Origin winning halfback, and if you put Ivan in charge, does that mean that? Nathan, I'm going with Mitchell. That'd be
Saxy's son.
Saxy's son. Well, not sacked him because. Overlooks him. Yes. Wow. Yes. Great stuff. David, terrific segment. Really excited about this secret project, as are Conveyor Logistics, who bring us your segment, Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions. David, have a great Wednesday.
Thank you, boys. Go well.
See you tonight.
There it is. Exclamation mark on the segment.